Ya ke jingialang ka shisngi la pynlong da ke Meghalaya Police ha ke arpu tarik u Jylliew hajar arpu ha Police Headquarters ha Shillong. Ke jingthmu jong katei ke jingialang ka long ban pynsngewthuh bat pynshai halor ke jingiadei kam ke jan hapdeng kibor pulit bat kilat pathai khubor. Hagani ke sngi la don ru ke jingiamir jingmut kylliang halor ki kam ki babha ya ke balale da katanat pulit bat ru ya ke jingai khubor ke biang por jong ki syau upat ba lengba kilat pathai khubor kibadon ha ke Jylliew Meghalaya. Ya ke ni ke jingiamir jingmut kylliang layalam khmat da ke editor ke Shillong Times ke Kong Patricia Mukhim u president ke Shillong Press Club u Bah David Laitphlang but u public relations officer ke Ministry of Defence u Wing Commander Sreeprakash J. Layadon rengkat ru u Director General of Police Meghalaya u Dr L R Bishnoi ki Public Relations Officer jong katanat pulit ki bakenthup yau SP City East Khasi Hills u Bah Vivek Syiem ki Additional Superintendent of Police but Deputy Superintendent of Police na ki District Bapher ke Jylliew.
Shabi told me, so I just jotted on a few points, but in the interactive session also it would be good to communicate so that we can exchange ideas. Firstly, I said I concur with the speakers, what they have said. Now, I am part uniform, part media now. I am a public relation officer on deputation. So I agree, I understand both sides of the coin, Like, we also need to understand that the uniform works with a lot of constraints. With a huge constraints which probably the media will never be able to understand. So we work with a lot of constraints, we have to restrain ourselves, we can't be free-flowing with information or facts. Sometimes we need to divulge certain things only to a certain tip. The rest is left for interpretation. And this interpretation goes wrong when the media takes it up in a very totally different manner. That's very, very important. For the media also to understand that we work with a lot of constraints. Now, PR works with both ways. Like, this is an extremely good thing the DGP started. I got in touch with him on Twitter when he was initially appointed a couple of months back. So I messaged him and congratulated him on Twitter. So we need to make use of such opportunities, such platforms to get in touch with people. And that's best part of the DGP sir was that he responded promptly. He responds very, very promptly. So these are platforms which we need to utilize to improve our network. Like what I've done basically, I want to share what's been done.
Series of informations need to be exchanged on day-to-day basis, and for that little bit sensitization is required. What kind of information need to be shared instantly, what can be revealed, what cannot be revealed, how exactly it can be revealed, how the communication with media can be done in a highly desired manner. So to sensitize our police officers, we thought that interactions with prominent media personalities is the need of the hour. And I am sure that by today's course, the police officers will be immensely benefited. I am sure that after attending this sensitization course, our officers will be better equipped to deal with dissemination of informations about happenings in their respective districts. Whatever happens in your respective districts need to be disseminated to the media so that there should not be any misunderstanding in the minds of public, so that there should not be any speculation about the incidents, about the informations. For that, accuracy, transparency is required, and it should be conveyed to the media instantly, so that there should not be any scope for misinformation or disinformation. By keeping this objective in mind, today's sensitization course is organized. We call the assigned officer as PRO, Public Relation Officer, but you are not duly notified by the government. For that, we will write to the government. But we have assigned the task to either DSP or additional SP rank officer in every district, and they will be the nodal agencies for disseminating information to the media, and they have to do a lot of hard work so that exact factual information can be disseminated. And they have to remain updated all the times about happenings in the districts. And this has to be done along with their other duties, along with their other tasks. So this will give you tremendous experience and you will learn many new things. And this will empower you with communication skills also. So I am sure that you all will enjoy your jobs and you will not get any complaint about the dissemination of information in the media. It has to be timely, it has to be factual, it has to be accurate. And for that, always you need to collect information from the reliable sources and not on the information on the basis of hearsay evidence. So that is where updating, continuous updating will be required in your respective districts. The media, you can disseminate information not only about the law enforcement issues, not only about the crime prevention and investigation issue, but also about any things happening in your districts like natural calamities, so that public can be benefited and sometimes they can be alerted in advance also about natural calamities, about traffic accidents. All these things, if the public get instant information, it will be very useful and they will appreciate also. Sometimes the criticism will be there. So nothing to afraid about the criticism. You will learn out of criticism. You take criticism in a positive way. If something is lacking on our part, then we will try to improve upon it by taking the criticism in a very, very positive spirit. So in that way, it will be a good learning experience. So with these words,
and maybe if we even establish a set of just basic parameters that we can work by. Maybe we can have another meeting on another day with respective SPs or with the IG, the Eastern Range, Western Range IGs. We can take that forward. What do you say, Kong? That would be a better way, because we need to sensitize one another on what we need and what we want from each other. First and foremost, of course, we need timely and seriously pronto information, because many a times a lot of news, a lot of events are actually broken on social media, and that is, I feel it's bad. It looks bad on us, but it's beyond our reach. But it's actually dangerous, because the time may come when something, a YouTube channel may just blurt out something which is inflammatory, and it could spell trouble for all of us. And then we will have no one else to blame. Things need to be in control on that front as well. So we need to have a system where we get access to information as fast as possible. Yes, the other aspect of how much you would like to disclose, it's completely the prerogative of the officer concerned, but there's always a way to seem accessible without actually giving much. I used to remember during my PCN days, we had a wonderful officer who spent a lot of time with us, but we'd never get anything out of it. But when we left, we were satisfied with enough of Pepsi and Fanta and Coca-Cola. I know Sargam had a long bill pending. So that is another trick. I'm just telling you, be honest. Don't be stern. Just don't build a wall. You know, a smile can disarm a really anxious journalist. I'm telling you a couple of secrets, but it's all for the good, because the greater good is we need to communicate. Like in our old days, I'm sure Kong, Madam Lingwa, Basil, and dear friends like Bah Francis, when I was in the field, they were accessible, and even if he hardly told you, you still thought you got away with something. You know, so the job is done for me as a journalist as well as for you as an officer. So you humored me a bit, but then you got away with it. Maybe not the next time, but you sure did at that. So these are little things that we could do, because I don't really see that when I talk to my juniors, and especially the reporters, they do come to me or this officer doesn't even pick up the phone, or he doesn't even feel like talking to me. So a little bit of good blood doesn't hurt, even if you don't have much to say. That really, really will break the ice. It'll put you on a good page with everybody, and you'll score some little brownie points which you don't know when it may come to use at a later stage. So to keep a kind of a system in place to monitor them, because there are a lot of YouTube channels. So there are a lot of one day, one smartphone, one person journalists parading all over town and playing judge and jury and executioner. And there is no control over that. So you will need to also probably have somebody really, really monitoring your social media, the social media that's actually captivating the audience here. These are things that actually are going to help police officers in monitoring in what frame of mind are people actually at the ground thinking. These are very, very important, and yes, we do wonder sometimes whether it's true or whether it's not. And so if you are accessible, a simple yes or no, and maybe I can share about it a little later, solves the day, it saves the day for you, it saves the day for us. And pretty much I think that's all I just want to say. I don't want to bore you further. I would like if you all actually share from your point of view, because we really love from the media's point of view, this is what we have. Kong has covered all the bases. I'm more of a foot soldier, so I'm willing to answer other questions that you might ask of me, sir. What do you say with your permission? Okay, then that's all I would like to say. I would really, really wish Meghalaya Police the very best on this venture. I know it's a sure shot, foolproof attempt, and I know it's going to work because you really need to. It's all about image building now. No matter how much you do, it's about how you look good on the screen, the big or the small. So it's up to you whether you make the most of it. Yes, there are many officers and there are many constables that I have come across who have been doing a lot of yeoman service on their own humble efforts. I know for certain. And I've tried to speak to some to try and say, may I do a story, but they're so modest, they refuse. I salute that. But perhaps, like Kong said, maybe an occasional story here and there would also actually give a lot of soul to the force, would encourage others to follow suit, and perhaps together we can actually all have a nice, peaceful cohabitation. Thank you. God bless.
Those in the force that are dedicated to the task. And as a media person, I can tell you that we too have forgotten to follow up on that story. We've moved on to the search. We've moved on from finding out more about that search operation for the abandoned arms. And what comes to my mind is that image of policemen wading into the rivers to find the weapons. I think that was a body blow to the image of the police. Suppose those weapons were not found, I don't know what would have happened. Thankfully, they were found. The problem with having a public relations officer without any media training is that he or she looks at things from the police perspective.